All right, so this is a suggestion via a channel member. Guys, let's check it out.
Hey, 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 hey! Hey, get! What did she just do?
What's going on? What's going on?
Oh, shit. Okay, it's okay.
Bro, get out of the car.
She took Nick's camera. She just stole Nick's camera. Let's get her.
No, give him the camera! No, give him the camera!
Just tell her to give him the camera back.
Give him the camera!
What happened, Nick?
And they're saying a name too.
They just stole my camera.
Right out of your hand while you're in the car?
Hey guys, what is this? Okay, hold on. Okay, who is Nick Sorter? Never heard of you. They stole his camera. $1,000 camera. Okay. Okay. Oh, was that guy? Wait a second. Okay, so I think I know who he is. There was a gigantic protest in some random place. I don't know. And they were burning the American flag. And I think this was this the guy who stopped them from burning the American flag? And I was like, I don't know, that's a little bit questionable. I don't want to see anyone burning our flag, but they have the right to burn the flag and protest, even though I don't like it, right? I think that was my overall point. Was that this guy? Maybe. Okay. You gotta understand, guys. I think they don't, guys. Just like how Iran is basically blocking the internet, and how Chinese companies are coming in and basically delivering the intranet, basically a private network for the country, for the government officials to basically disseminate any of the information they basically want, but the citizens can't. It almost looks like that's what we're encountering here. It looks like someone with a different point of view is going there. And filming things, obviously, for their base. They heard the word Nick and probably was like, bro, is that Nick Shirley? I don't know, don't care, right? He fits the build or something like that, and ended up immediately attempting to rob him for his equipment. And what's crazy is in the video that we did see, there was someone most likely who knows the person who basically took off in the car already saying her name. So we already know that this person is not going to get very far here. But I wonder if this person back here has gotten her camera taken. I wonder. Probably not, right? Or this person here, right? Or the person with the whistle has gotten his fanny pack taken. I don't know. Probably not, right?
Well, 1,500 American soldiers have been ordered by the Pentagon to prepare for possible deployment to Minnesota. That's according to a defense official. State officials have also mobilised the National Guard to assist with tasks such as crowd control and support for law enforcement. The Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey believes the act is to intimidate the state's residents.
I don't think Holman understands the basic dynamic as to how stuff works in Minnesota here.
Who cares?
But the bottom line is, as we know, this is not about safety. It's not about crime. This is about intimidation in Minneapolis. We're not going to be intimidated.
Okay, yeah, so when he just said that, that was pure opinion. It had nothing to do with fact here. And the reason why I said blatantly a couple of seconds ago, period, like who cares, is because simple. You are part of the United States of America, and the federal government is basically dictating this situation. They have gone through the idea of setting federal police. That didn't work. You sent out more people, right? And you know, like I know, listening to him and Tim Walz basically speak, that diplomacy in itself is going to fail in Congress. It's pointless. So what is left here, guys? The Insurrection Act. That's it. That's where we are.
The boost in troops
That's where we
comes in
are.
the wake of a shooting involving ICE agents in the American state.
It's interesting what Donald Trump has said about Iran in recent days. I think his rhetoric certainly had an effect. It's had an effect on protesters and also the clerical leadership there. But would he have the support of the American people if he was to intervene further in Iran? Because it looks to me, after the bombing of the nuclear facilities, what we've seen in Venezuela, Trump often has support when the American public thinks it's one and done. If he shows signs in getting into a long, protracted war, again, like what we saw with previous administrations in Afghanistan, that's when he'll start to lose support. Is that right?
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail right on the head there. In the aftermath of the initial strikes on Iran, the American people were supportive, but you saw a lot of concern in the polling about, what does our longer term engagement look like? And you had folks on the left and even some more isolationist folks from what would traditionally be President Trump's coalition, expressing these concerns about, the 20-year forever war and nation building in the Middle East, for which certainly nobody here in the United States has an interest in doing that. But what we've seen with Iran and what we've seen in Venezuela is President Trump's not going to blunder us into, a 20-year forever conflict. He's going to move with force to protect American interests and to implement that America First agenda. And he's really demonstrating that you can be America First just with peace through strength, and that it doesn't necessarily mean isolationism and withdrawing from the national stage. And certainly I'm sure that the Ayatollah and the IRGC leadership, that they probably haven't been sleeping very well over the last few weeks. And I think that's probably going to continue for the next weeks and months.
Nicholas, you say peace through strength, and if we could kind of transplant that into the domestic landscape there as well, I think, continues to show strength, for want of a better term, when it comes to ICE raids. Also, his targeting of Jerome Powell. Does that go down well? Both of these issues, very separate, of course, but does that go down well with American voters? Because I have noted there's a bit of a split here from the MAGA base on both of those issues. Okay.
Yeah, guys, the majority of America has no idea who Jerome Powell is. All right. So I'm not sure that specifically is going to be something that it matters, I would say, large scale to the average common typical American. If you start talking about interest rates, I mean, that may matter slightly more, but I think you'd still have to pretty much further explain what Jerome Powell does and his overall impact on the United States of America, his ability to basically decide interest rates kind of all day long, your credit card interest rates, et cetera, all these things, right? But the average American has no idea who Jerome Powell is. Let's just be honest here.
Yeah, I think Trump's brand is unique. And what we've seen in our polling is since November, Trump's image has actually improved by 6 points, which means 6% more Americans think he's doing a good job versus a bad job. And even more specifically, when you start to talk to them about what Trump's achievements are domestically, his favorability improves even more significantly. And I think when you look in particular at this ICE issue, President Trump was elected. One of the two pillars was immigration. The other was the economy and inflation. And what we've seen is Trump has done such a good job at the southern border in stopping the flow of new illegal immigrants into the United States that issue is not as top of mind for swing voters and for everyday Americans as they think about who they want to elect in our congressional elections here in November of this year. And I think the Democrats may be making a huge mistake by bringing this issue back to the forefront by challenging him on domestic immigration policy because, the American people, they may not always like the way that the sausage is made. And I think there's a subset of Americans that think maybe ICE has been a little bit heavy-handed, but they certainly don't want the Democrats' alternative, which is to completely eliminate any type of domestic immigration enforcement and to set us back to, the scary days of Biden, where immigration was, the number one issue to voters as they went into the voting booth.
Look, the midterms are going to be fascinating when it comes to that very issue. You're right when it comes to, the southern border, but when it spills into places like Minnesota, that might change the game. Nicholas, it's great to speak to you today. Looking forward to speaking to you again.
Okay. Yeah, like if the Democrats definitely do not understand that the United States of America, I think large scale, kind of supports the idea of a stronger border, but obviously not everyone is going to support the methodology behind how the stronger border is kind of created, if that makes any sense here, right? But I do think that most people kind of would like to have a border. There will be a small, very small ilk of people. Generally, they're going to be the loudest, period, and the youngest, right? Who are still trying to find out who they are internally, let's just say this here. And they see no actual benefit in keeping a border because they really have no actual ownership or ties seriously to the United States of America. They don't own anything. They don't pay any taxes. They're not really benefiting the United States of America other than being a social security number to I don't know, work and pay local taxes for, let's just say this year. All right. They have no actual stake in the country. All right. That's it. So, but they're going to be the loudest, period. And they're going to be the ones protesting, period. Guys, do you want to watch movies with me? I never actually thought to promote it over here, guys. But if you guys do want to watch it, guys, we have hundreds of movies. And I mean hundreds of movies that we've reacted to. You guys can come watch them with me if you want to, along with many TV shows. Currently, we're working on the show Dexter, along with Vikings. And we have a lot of series that are already completed. But if you guys do want to watch it with me, the link is in the description. Everything's available at the second tier. But of course, if that's not your thing, guys, don't worry, right? Listen, like and subscribe.